The kind of person who never misses isn't normal. And that's exactly who you need to become. Every productivity hack you've tried treats your brain like it's broken when it's actually working perfectly. It's designed to seek comfort, avoid pain, and negotiates its way out of anything difficult. The ancient Japanese concept of kaizen understands this and works with your psychology, not against it. Four fundamental principles will transform you into someone who literally cannot quit. And it starts with understanding why your current approach guarantees failure. Most people think consistency is about motivation lasting forever. That's like thinking a campfire stays lit because the match was really passionate. Motivation dies the moment things get uncomfortable, which happens approximately 18 hours after you start. Real consistency comes from building a system so automatic that your conscious mind can't interfere with it. Your brain will fight this transformation because it threatens the comfortable patterns you've spent years perfecting. Good resistance is proof you're doing something that matters. The first principle eliminates the daily negotiation that kills every streak you've ever tempted. Every morning when you hit snooze, your mind starts bargaining. Maybe today I'll start after breakfast. I had a late night, so I deserve extra sleep. I'll do twice as much tomorrow to make up for it. That internal courtroom is where consistency goes to die because the judge is always biased toward comfort. The prosecutor arguing for your goals shows up exhausted, while the defense attorney for your old patterns comes prepared with 18 different excuses. Japanese. Tea ceremony masters understood this psychological warfare when they created the concept of Ichigo Ichi. One time, one meeting. Each moment is unrepeatable and demands complete presence. They don't negotiate with the tea. They don't ask if today feels like a good day for ceremony. The ritual exists independent of mood, weather, or convenience. The tea doesn't care if. You're tired. Sarah discovered this after 2 years of failed morning routines. Marketing director, successful career, couldn't wake up 30 minutes earlier to save her life. The pattern was always identical. Sunday night planning, Monday morning enthusiasm, Wednesday morning bargaining, Friday morning surrender. She tried every alarm app, every motivational quote, every productivity guru's miracle method. All of them treated the symptom instead of the disease. The disease isn't lack of willpower. It's that you're giving your brain permission to make the same decision every single day. Each morning becomes a referendum on whether today you feel like being the person you want to become. Your feelings are not qualified to make that decision. They change based on how much sleep you got, what you ate yesterday, whether Mercury is in retrograde. Building your identity on feelings is like building a house on quicksand. So Sarah wrote herself a letter. Not a goal, not an intention, but a declaration of identity. For the next 100 days, I am someone who wakes up at 5:30. Not I will try to wake up. Not I want to wake up. I am someone who wakes up. The difference isn't semantic, it's neurological. Your brain treats identity statements as facts to be protected, not suggestions to be considered. She put the letter everywhere. Bathroom mirror, car dashboard, computer monitor, phone wallpaper. Every surface became a reminder of who she had decided to become. Her husband thought she was being dramatic. Her coworkers said she was trying too hard. Perfect. Every person who knew about her commitment became an accountability partner, whether they wanted to be or not. Social proof works both ways. The same mechanism that makes you lie about how much you exercise now makes you follow through on public commitments. Day 4, the test arrived. That 5:30 alarm, and immediately her brain launched its usual defense. You went to bed late? You have a big presentation today? One day won't matter. But something fundamental had shifted. She wasn't negotiating with Sarah who wanted to sleep in. She was Sarah who wakes up at 5:30. The identity had made the decision before her feelings could interfere. But here's what she discovered. Even with the identity shift locked in, she was still burning mental energy every morning, deciding what to do with that extra time. Some days yoga felt right. Other days she'd journal, maybe catch up on emails. Her brain had found a new negotiation point. Instead of arguing about when It started arguing about what? The time was consistent, but the practice was chaos. That's where the second principle becomes non-negotiable. You don't just need consistent timing, you need consistent action. Variety is the enemy disguised as a friend. Every time you change what you're doing, your brain has to engage conscious decision making. Should I stretch or meditate today? Which book should I read? How long should I journal? Each micro decision is a crack where your old patterns slip back in. Master craftsmen understand this intuitively. The sushi chef who's been perfecting the same knife cuts for 40 years doesn't get bored with repetition. He finds infinite depth in apparent simplicity. The pianist practicing scales for the 1,000th time isn't being mindless. She's refining unconscious competence. Beginners want variety because they're still fighting the practice. Masters embrace repetition because they've learned to dance with it. Sarah locked down her routine completely. 5:30, wake up, 10 minutes stretching, 10 minutes journaling, 10 minutes reading. Same sequence, same duration, same everything. Her friends called it robotic. Her sister said she was becoming boring. They missed the point entirely. Boring was the goal. When something becomes boring to your conscious mind, it becomes automatic. To your nervous system. Week 2, her brain declared war. Every morning it screamed for novelty. This is stupid. You're not a machine. Mix it up before you burn out. Week 3, the resistance got desperate. You're missing out on life. Normal? People don't live like this. What if something important happens while you're doing your routine? Week 4, something broke. Not her discipline, her need for discipline. The routine was running itself. This is what people don't understand about mastery. It's not about willpower, lasting forever. It's about repetition until willpower isn't required anymore. Your nervous system learns the sequence like a dancer learns choreography. Eventually, you're halfway through before your conscious mind realizes you've started. Day 35, Sarah got food poisoning. Day 42, her daughter had a fever. This is where every previous attempt had collapsed. Sick day equals skip day. Family emergency equals system failure. Perfect practice requires perfect conditions, and perfect conditions are as rare as unicorns riding bicycles. But there's a difference between being flexible and being inconsistent. A river bends around rocks but never stops flowing. During drought, it might become a trickle, but it never stops completely. The moment it stops, it's not a river anymore. It's a depression in the ground where water used to be. Your practice is the same. The moment you create a gap, you're not practicing anymore. You're someone who used to practice. The third principle acknowledges that life will attack your system with chaos you can't predict. Your response can't be improvised in the moment because you'll be stressed, tired, and looking for the path of least resistance. Every obstacle needs a predetermined response, decided when you're calm and committed, not when you're overwhelmed and looking for excuses. Food poisoning day. Sarah did 5 minutes of gentle stretching in bed, wrote 3 sentences in her journal. Read 1 page while lying down. None of it was perfect. All of it maintained the identity. Daughter's fever night? She woke up at 5:30 anyway. Did her stretching in the hallway outside the bedroom. Journaled about being a parent. Read while making breakfast. The form adapted, but the practice continued. This isn't about being rigid. It's about being unbreakable. Rigid things snap under pressure. Unbreakable things bend, but don't break. Every situation gets a scaled version that honors the commitment without destroying your life. Business trip means airplane stretches and hotel room journaling. Power outage means flashlight reading. Hangover, which shouldn't happen, but sometimes does, means 2 minutes of gentle movement and 1 sentence written down. The power isn't just maintaining the streak. It's that you stop treating consistency like a daily battle and start treating it like a fact of existence. Your brain learns that no matter what tomorrow brings, some version of the practice will happen. That certainly changes your entire nervous system. You stop wasting mental energy on whether you'll practice and start investing it in how to practice better. Day 60, people started commenting. Her husband said she seemed different. Her team noticed she was more focused in meetings. Someone at work asked if she'd been working out because she looked more energetic. The changes weren't just internal anymore. They were radiating outward in ways she hadn't expected. But here's what nobody prepared her for: the subtle resistance from people closest to her. Friends who used to bond over being tired and busy suddenly had nothing to complain about with her. Family members made passive-aggressive comments about her morning routine. You're becoming obsessive. Normal people don't need to be so structured. Can't you just be spontaneous anymore? This is where the fourth principle becomes essential. When your consistency makes others uncomfortable, you're operating at exactly the right level. Their discomfort isn't about your routine. It's about what your routine represents. Your existence proves that everything they say is impossible is actually just inconvenient. You've stopped making excuses they're still using. The people who matter will celebrate your transformation. The people who don't matter will try to pull you back down to their level. Your job isn't to make them comfortable. Your job is to become unrecognizable to the person you used to be. When someone calls your discipline scary, say thank you. When they say you're taking it too far, you know you're finally going far enough. Sarah's morning routine wasn't just about waking up early anymore. It was about proving to herself every single day that she was someone who followed through. Someone who kept commitments to herself the same way she kept commitments to others. Someone who didn't need perfect conditions to do important things. Day 90, she realized the routine had stopped being she did and started being something she was. Her identity had shifted so completely that sleeping until 7 felt foreign. Just foreign. Like wearing someone else's clothes. The person who used to hit snooze 5 times felt like a character from a book she'd read years ago. Her coworkers started asking for advice. How do you stick to things? How do you find time for self-care? What's your secret? The secret wasn't a hack or a trick. The secret was understanding that consistency isn't about doing something every day. It's about becoming someone who cannot do otherwise. Day 100 arrived without fanfare. No celebration, no sense of completion. Just another morning in the life of someone who wakes up at 5:30. The routine had become so integrated into her identity that stopping felt more difficult than continuing. She'd achieved something most people think is impossible. She'd made the right choice automatic. But the real transformation wasn't the morning routine. It was the confidence that came from proving she could change anything about herself if she was willing to commit completely. The routine was just the training ground. The real prize was becoming someone who could be trusted with bigger challenges, bigger goals, bigger dreams. Your brain right now is calculating whether this level of commitment is worth it, whether you can really sustain this kind of discipline, whether you're the type of person who can follow through on something this demanding. Those questions miss the point entirely. You're not trying to sustain discipline. You're trying to eliminate the need for discipline by making the right choices automatic. The process is simple, but not easy. Choose one practice that moves you toward who you want. To become, commit to it publicly in a way that makes quitting embarrassing. Do it at the same time every day until your body expects it. Create scaled versions for when life interferes. Ignore everyone who says you're taking it too far. Most people live their entire lives without ever discovering what they're capable of when they stop negotiating with themselves. They spend decades making the same excuses, having the same conversations, getting the same results. You have the opportunity to become someone completely different. Someone who doesn't just set goals but achieves them. Someone who doesn't just start things but finishes them. Someone whose word to themselves means something. The question isn't whether you can build this level of consistency. The question is whether you're willing to become the kind of person who scares others with their commitment. Whether you're ready to stop being normal and start being unbreakable. Whether you're prepared to discover what happens when you finally stop lying to yourself about what you're capable of. Your old self is going to fight this transformation every step of the way. It's going to whisper that this is too extreme, too rigid, too much. It's going to remind you of every time you failed before. It's going to tell you that people will think you're crazy. Listen to those voices, thank them for their concern, and do it anyway. Because on the other side of that resistance lives a version of yourself that you've never met. Someone who keeps promises to themselves. Someone who doesn't need perfect conditions to do important work. Someone who has learned that consistency isn't about discipline lasting forever. It's about repetition until discipline isn't needed anymore. The time for negotiation is over. The time for excuses is over. The time for treating yourself like you can't be trusted is over. You already know what you need to do. The only question left is when you're going to stop talking about it and start becoming it.